The Absolute Ark M special has arrived, and it's doing its part to expand the Absolute universe. Also, I always just mush Ark M together into Arkham, and this issue is going to encourage that a little bit. It builds a direct connection between the two. We're close to time release, so spoilers. The Absolute Ark M special is written by Scott Snyder and Frank Thierry, with art by Joshua Hickson and colors by Roman Stevens. For the most part, it takes place in the past, but it's also kind of a flashback inside of a flashback. It's the journey of Amadeus Arkham, how and why he founded Arkham Asylum, and the destruction of his dreams, and ultimately the crushing of his soul, really. It's also in a way a death of that concept of Arkham and being replaced with this new Arkham, which works on a kind of meta level as well. This is a horror comic in many ways, psychologically mostly, although there is also a tiny bit of body horror in there too. The art does a lot to accent that. It really helps build the dread and atmosphere. It also, because that, does a good job with juxtaposing the idealism that Arkham has and the reality of the circumstances that he's found himself in and that he's also kind of created. It's playing with the horrors of asylums in general. Now, the reveal that it builds to is one that can be gleaned early on. I won't spoil it here, but I will say that it does make sense. Even if one can guess where it's going, it doesn't take away from the impact when you get there, just because the emotional buildup behind it is well done. And also for some, it's going to be an effective misdirect. Not everybody's going to get there. It also depends a lot upon what you've been reading in the Absolute universe, and also how familiar you are with this type of horror story. Now, this issue uses its space to both expand on Ark M's history, but also build an even clearer picture of just what a monster the Joker, or Grimm, is. This issue highlights for me something that I like about Batman in both the mainline and the Absolute universe, and it's that it doesn't have to constantly focus on Batman. Batman's in this very little, but of course, because he is the core around which everything is built, he's still relevant. But his world is so strong, he doesn't need to constantly be there. In fact, there's lots of room for it to breathe. You can spend significant portions of time other places, and it just makes everything feel richer. Plus, Batman is said to have one of the best rogues galleries, if not the best in comics. Now, whether or not one agrees with that is something else, but that is what tends to be said. And the Absolute universe is certainly playing to that. This issue also showcased some villains to come, with teases of Ivy, whom we've low-key seen before, Hugo Strange, Jonathan Crane, the Scarecrow, Kirk Langstrom, Man-Bat, Basil Karlo, Clayface, Jervis Tetch, the Mad Hatter, and we get a full Deathstroke, who we've seen a little of before. Also, some of the environments, like for Isley and Langstrom, were described as biomes. That's always ominous. So is some of the stuff creeping out of Ivy's. This issue was a nice addition if you're liking the Absolute universe and you're curious to see it built out a bit more. It adds to it quite handily. And it's also just a nice sojourn into kind of a different vibe. I personally really liked the horror atmosphere of this one. It's the most fun I've had with the Joker in a while. I enjoyed it, but as always, it won't be for everyone. Some may feel there's just too much focus being placed on the villains, they may want more Batman. Some may feel that the connections are trite or that this isn't different enough. Also, it's very dark. It may go too hard for some people and veer towards unpleasant. And a ton of other opinions, I'm sure. And I would love to hear them. What did you think of this special? And are you enjoying the direction of the Absolute universe?